Hi, this is Gail with Beaded Jewelry Diva. Today we are going to talk about painting shells for use in jewelry. Now here are a couple of examples. I'll show you more towards the end of this video, but it's very easy to do these. It's very fast. It's a lot of fun, and it's pretty much almost impossible to mess up. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you do, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up because it really does help me out. And if you don't already subscribe to my YouTube channel, I hope that you'll do so. You'll see some more examples of shells and jewelry in progress. If you enjoy those pieces and you'd like for me to do a video on them, please go ahead and leave me a comment or leave me a like or do whatever. And I know that you want to see how to make those pieces of jewelry. Anyway, let's go ahead and see what we need to get started with this for supplies. All right, to start, we're going to need a few supplies. Well, first, of course, you will need some shells. You'll need some cosmetic sponges. These are just the kind you can pick up at the drugstore. You'll need some paint. Now, I'm using something called Lumiere, and hopefully I'm pronouncing it right, and I've got a few different colors. You can do this with acrylic and everything, but for the effect that I'm doing here today, the Lumiere paints or something that has mica in it. That's basically what the Lumiere are. I have some stands. Some stands are some nail polish bottles or, empty containers. So whatever stand you can find that will hold your shell. Now I've got some wall putty. This is just the tacky putty that you can put up on the walls that, to stick posters on, etc. I've just got a little bit of it. You don't absolutely need to use this. I just find that it's very helpful. If you don't, you can always have blue painter's tape. That will work too. Now I also need some sort of surface to work on. The surface that I'm working on today is just a piece of plastic that is merely to protect whatever I have underneath. I also have another piece of plastic, which is a plastic bag, that I'm going to use to mix my paints. All right, so to get started, first you'll need some shells. By the way, if you get a shell that looks a little off balance like this, get an emery board and just smooth it. And this is just calcium carbonate, so you can go ahead and file down these little rough edges so they're more symmetrical. But let's pick another shell to start with today. Okay, we'll use this one. Now, I did pick a shell that has a hole already drilled in it, and this is useful for if you want to use this for a pendant. I got these on Amazon. I'll go ahead and put a link to it. I am going to take some of my putty or your painter's tape or whatever. And really what I'm using it for is a stand. So I'm just sticking this on here. And this is just a place to keep my shell while I'm working on it that's up above the plastic, so I can more easily turn it if I want to or do something like that. I can more easily see it. Now I'm going to take my little piece of plastic bag, and I will grab one of my little cosmetic sponges. To do this, I'm just going to go ahead and take some of my Lumiere paint, shake it up a little bit, and then put it on the piece of plastic. Now you don't need a whole lot, as I found out. You just need a little bit. And let's try one more color. How about this one's kind of a pink color? Okay, so I've got my 3 little dots of color, and I'm just going to take my cosmetic sponge and I'm going to dip and do this. Just brush it on. You don't need, like a fancy artist brush or anything like that. You just dab it on to your heart's content. So mixing my colors, you're allowed to. You can make this all one color. You can make it more than one color. You can make it like a rainbow. I've had some where I've used practically all the colors that I had, and I have a whole bunch of colors. So you can do this with a swiping motion like I'm doing right here. And that's good for a lot of shells. Some shells, if they have a lot of ridges in them, it's not going to be as easy. So I found that a dabbing, especially with the front part of it, to dab into the crevices works a little bit better. But however, you can go ahead and do it to get your paint where you want it. And, you know, it may take some trial and error. And if you don't like what you did, one of the ways that I've gotten around it is I've gone back and wait till it dried. And by the way, this does not take a very long time to dry. I'll go back, wait till it's dry, and try to put on another coat. So even though I don't really like this one so far, I'm going to go ahead and just put a little bit more gold on it. It may grow on me. But I just wanted to really demonstrate how to do this. I'm getting to be a perfectionist. I want a little bit better looking. Okay, I like that better. Now I'm going to let this dry on the stand. How long does it take to dry? It takes maybe 10 minutes or so for it to dry because you've got a very thin layer on here. All right, so I'm going to set that aside. Now the question may come up, well, can you use nail polish itself for the same way to do it? And I will use one of my paints as my stand this time. Oh boy. So again, we put this on. I'm going to grab another one of my little shells. And this is great if you can't get a hold of any Lumiere paints or anything like that. What you can do is just take a little bit of nail polish, dab it on. Now, with nail polish, you have to work a lot quicker because it'll dry fast on you. So I'll get some of this and I'll get some pink. So let's make it a shocking color. Yes. Can you also go ahead and just dab it on like this? Yes, you can. But if you do that, what I suggest is you go back, and I'm going to grab a clean one of these, is go back and pat it. So, and then I'm going to pick up some of my shocking orange. Now, the nail polish will take a little bit longer to dry. And if you want to get some of the other effects that you can get with the Lumiere paint, there are nail polishes all over the place. There are all kinds of funky colors with glitter and this, that, and the other. So not to worry. But you can see that I'm struggling right now. My paint is, or my nail polish is pretty much drying. So I'll go back over this a little bit later with some more nail polish, but you can get the general idea of what you do with nail polish. So yes, if you can't find any Lumiere paints, nail polish is an option for you for sure. I have tried this with regular acrylic paints that are kind of like flat and matte. I haven't liked the effect as much as I like for something like this, either a bright color or something that has mica in it. But hey, go ahead and, try and see what you come up with. Now, a question also may come up is, I have something already on a bead backing. Can I go ahead and put paint on it? Oh, sure. By all means, just think about it as another stand. I'd be careful to try not to get it on the bead backing because you don't really want it to harden on here and make it more difficult to get your needle through it. But certainly you can go ahead and just dab stuff on and have fun. So yes, you can go ahead and do something that's already on a bead backing. It will act as a stand. Do you have to paint the whole shell? Nope, you do not. So let me go ahead and clear this away, and I will show you some examples of some shells and something that I've done with one of them. So we have some shells. They're all nice and dried, and they're ready to be made into jewelry. So let's go ahead and recap. We've got these two shells. Here's some more that I've done, and this one you recognize I was doing it on the backing, and yes, I got a little bit of stuff on the backing. Not to worry too much, just you don't want to glop it on the backing. Of course, I've got this one, and this is also on the backing, and I did it in more of natural colors, so we've got the golds and the pearls and everything. So definitely going to make some jewelry out of this one. Well, remember we had our painted one with our nail polish? Well, I did another one in similar colors, but this one I topped off with some glitter, and you really can't see it on camera, but the sparkle on this one is really kind of neat. So here are two nail polish ones. Now I've got one that's really kind of different. This one's a spiral. Haven't quite decided what to do with it, but I'm thinking about maybe wire wrapping or something with it. So that's an idea. This one, again, here we got the hole, and we can go ahead and fix it if we wanted to. If you didn't want to go ahead and use it with some sort of stringing or whatever, you could always, you know, hide it with another shell. So this is another shell that I've started making. It is a work in progress. I'm not quite happy with it yet, but you can decorate these shells. And here's another idea for decorating a shell. I went ahead and, whoopsie daisy, I went ahead and gave it some bling like this. So, and you really can't see the sparkle on camera, but this is quite sparkly. All right, so another couple of shells. We've got this one and this one. So this one kind of has a model look, which I kind of like. I thought that was kind of neat. Here's another one. So we've got blues and purples and whatnot. Now I've got two that are kind of jewelry-ized already. Here's one, and you can see that it has some dangles and it has room to hang something. Another one that I've done is this one. This one's already on a chain, but it's very similar, but I've used copper wires and all sorts of other stuff. Now, for these two, if you like them, if you want me to do a video on them, on how I made these, please go ahead, hit a like, and then go ahead and post a comment down in the comment area, and let me know that you would like me to do a video on this style of shell now that you've got your shells. All right, so is there one in particular that you really like and that you think is kind of cool? Oh, and if you want me to do one on decorating shells, you know, with other stuff, let me know in the comments below as well. It's kind of hard to stop once you've started. And by the way, decorating shells like this, especially ones with holes in it, they make great Christmas ornaments as well. You know, do them up in, you know, seashell-y colors, or do them up in reds and greens. You know, all kinds of things you can do with these wonderful little shells. Well, I hope you've enjoyed today's video, and if you have, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. This is Gail saying goodbye for now, and happy beading!